good, YouTube? I'm back from a hiatus. This holiday week has been a little hectic, so I'm a little behind on my videos. This coming week, I'm gonna start doing a lot of different things and dropping some new videos for y'all. Some of the stuff might be a little old, but it's stuff that I've been wanting to talk about. When I went out of town for this week, I left a lot of my recording equipment here at the house, so I wasn't able to do any uploads, and at least I couldn't do the type of uploads I would want to do. But I was watching all the fights and being in tune with the news of different sports. So I'm going to be uploading a lot of videos this coming week. First off, I want to go ahead and make a stop over in England. I had the idea to do a video about the best British boxers. It was one of the videos I was going to do last week. Like I said, I left my equipment, but I wanted to do a prediction on the Eubank Jr. versus Billy Joe Saunders fight. And if I would have done the prediction, I would have predicted Eubank Jr. to win by split decision. That would have been my prediction. I caught the fight. What I got from it, I did not think the fight could have went either way. I have no problem with Billy Saunders winning the fight. I think it was a draw. I had it 6 rounds to 6. I had Eubank Jr. winning the first round, then Billy Joe Saunders winning the next 5. Then after that, the last 6 rounds, I had Eubank Jr. winning 5 out of the last 6. So, and basically it was a good fight. It just, the reason why that it happened the way it happened is because Eubank Jr. was trying to counterpunch Billy Joe Saunders in the beginning of the fight, the first half of the fight. Then after that, he turned it on and started to really apply pressure. And the blueprint was written on the wall during the second half of the fight. The blueprint to beat Billy Joe Saunders was actually written on the wall. All the other fighters in the division, if they are looking to fight Billy Joe Saunders, or were not looking to fight Billy Joe Saunders, watch this fight. You'll learn something if you wanted to fight him. If you don't want to fight him and you're a pressure fighter, you probably do now. So let's get into this. Basically, the judges had a split decision win for Billy Joe Saunders. Like I said, I had it a draw. I would have been okay with it either way. 1 point for Eubank Jr., 1 point for Billy Joe, 1 or 2 points anyway. That's a fine result. Basically, Eubank Jr.'s got an old school style. He goes to the body with jumping hooks, then follows to the head. Kind of looks like Joe Louis when he's applying pressure. He had Billy Joe Saunders up against the ropes in the second half of the fight, pretty much doing a lot of good body work. The uppercut, I mean, his arm would be tied up on the inside, and he would shoot uppercuts, sometimes double and triple, and he would land them at will. The blueprint here is that Billy Joe Saunders has absolutely no ability to fight on his back foot. He also cannot fight on the inside. When pressure was being applied, he was backing up. He was trying to throw that jab, and he's backing up, but then he gets smothered and he ties up. On the inside, he had no idea what to do against this guy. When he was caught against the ropes, he had no idea what to do. He would try to spin off the ropes. Eubank Jr. would just keep coming forward, and it was kind of like Eubank Jr. was chasing him around the ring, and Billy Joe Saunders was trying to duck out of the way, almost like trying to run from him. I noticed that Saunders, he has to set up the jab in order to control the fight. If he's not setting up his jab, he can't control the fight. The only other thing that he can do besides leading with the jab, he likes to feint. He's a southpaw, so he likes to feint with his right hand, and then he'll come over the top with the left. And that was the story of the fight in the first half of the fight. That's what Billy Joe Saunders was hitting Eubank Jr. with that will over the top left hand. But once Eubank Jr. started applying pressure, he didn't have enough space to get off with his jab and to shoot the straight left. He didn't have enough space, and that's what Billy Joe Saunders needs, is space. So if these other middleweights are watching, all you need to do is apply pressure and don't give Billy Joe Saunders any space, and you'll most likely win the fight. Possibly could knock him out. Both these guys had great chins, though. Eubank Jr. was getting hit with some big shots, as was Saunders. I don't think Saunders is a big hitter. I think he's like 22 wins, 11 knockouts or something like that. Don't quote me. I'm not looking at any notes or anything. And Eubank Jr. was 19-0 with 13 knockouts. He's more of a big hitter than Saunders was, but and he actually showed it with his style in the second half of the fight. But their chins are exceptional. Will Golovkin beat these guys? I read a article last week about Chris Eubank Sr. stating that his son is much better than he is, and given his skill set at this moment now, he would beat Golovkin today. And I highly disagree with that assessment. Eubank Jr. is very green right now. If you notice, he overcommits on his punches, and it leaves him completely off balance. I remember, perfect example, round 9. He fires a hook at Billy Joe Saunders. Billy Joe Saunders backs up. Eubank Jr. swings at nothing but air, misses him completely, and almost does a fucking 180 afterwards because he's so off balance. I mean, and that was actually a lot of the time. That's what Billy Joe Saunders, how he was scoring his points. Eubank Jr. would overcommit on a punch, and he would find himself off balance, and Billy Joe Saunders would make him pay. He would shoot off a combination and land 3 or 4 punches just because Eubank Jr. would keep himself off balance. That's the advice that I'll have for this young kid. He needs to stop overcommitting on his punches. If he has a structured game plan and a structured way of throwing his shots, he could be very good. He has very, very high potential. I think he needs more guidance in that corner. I wasn't impressed by his trainers. I think that anytime you have a kid like this who can apply pressure and have success, I don't see why the hell you would have him trying to be a counterpuncher in the first 6 rounds of the fight. It makes absolutely no fucking sense. But and you leave that up to the trainer to be the ones that tell them, hey man, you got to stop doing that shit. It's not working. They should have stopped doing it after round 3. But anyway, it's either here nor there. But kid has a lot of potential. Billy Joe Saunders said he's waiting for the winner of Andy Lee, and I can't remember the other guy Andy Lee was supposed to fight. But if he gets the belt off that winner, he will definitely give Eubank Jr. A title shot. He will actually be the first person that he wants to defend his title against in a rematch. I think that would be a bad move. I think if Eubank Jr.'s corner watches this fight, took anything away from this fight, they will tell their guy to apply pressure from round 1 all the way to 12 or however long it ends or it lasts. And I think Eubank Jr. wins a rematch in this fight. But nevertheless, it was a great fight. Saunders, piece of advice for him, what he likes to do, since he's a boxer, he's a pure boxer, and he's setting up his left hand with the jab. One thing he does is he'll start out pretty much with a high guard, and then in the heat of battle, he will drop both his hands at his waist. Now, if you're fighting a guy like Golovkin, you're going to get knocked out. You're going to get knocked out. If you're fucking fighting Peter Quillen, you're going to get knocked out. You cannot get in the heat of the moment and drop both your hands at your waist. And he's not fast enough to elude those type of shots, the straight right hand, or, you know, straight punches are faster than hooks. So I think that Golovkin would throw straight right hands at him. So would Peter Quillen. And they would land. Shit, as far down as he has his hands, they would land their hooks on him. And these guys are big hitters. You cannot do that shit in that division. If I had to rate Saunders, I'd say he's a B. Not a B minus, not a B plus. He's a B class fighter. If I had to rate Eubank Jr., he's still green. I give him C plus. But man, he has a hell of a lot of potential. He just needs to go back to the drawing board and correct his mistakes. So I'm going to make this short. I'm going to go ahead and conclude this. Do what you do under the video, but be real. This is real talk for real fans. 1.